And now, the Podfather would like to proudly present to you the Bulletcast 100th episode, the second annual Bulletcast Awards.
Bulletcast for life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know my name, you know the voice, you know why I'm here. I'm the Podfather. I'm the reigning, defending Bulletcast champion, just like Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Roddy Strong, and Adam Cole, baby. This title reign is hashtag forever undisputed. And it is the 100th episode of the Bulletcast. 100 straight weeks I've been providing you with this performance-enhancing audio. I have, to my right, a man who joined me about 7 or 8 months ago to give us the best top 5 stories in wrestling, the Roman Report, and everything in between. He's the king of the hill, Chris. How's it going, man?
What's going on? It's going good, man. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, man. How was your Christmas? Was it good?
It was amazing.
Terrible,
it was awesome.
Terrible valet. She's doing all right?
Terrible valet was extra terrible. Well, she was great for the family. Everybody had a good time.
There we go,
I didn't
man.
mess up the turkey, which is good.
Okay.
You know, as long as it was moist and it was good, you know, and everybody was pretty happy, it went really well. It was
All
good.
right.
Good stuff.
And to my left, he is a man who's been a co-host of this podcast, host of the award-winning Under the Radar, host of Curveballs and Chair Shots, first ever Bulletcast champion, 3-time Bulletcast champion. He's a man who hates you if you're from Toronto, Ontario, Saskatchewan, Vancouver, British Columbia, anywhere in between. The Canadian Destroyer, Brandon. How's it going, buddy?
It's going great. Hopefully everybody had a fantastic Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, hopefully you had a good day off. If you had to work, hopefully you made some extra money.
Yes, all right.
Hopefully.
Well,
That's quite an intro, my man.
hey, I know, man. he has a lot of accolades, man. You know?
I mean, I've been here for, like 96 of them?
Hey, man, you're a day one for me, though.
In his
You were
heart.
day one.
In his heart and soul.
I mean, that first episode, I'm not going to lie, it was pretty rough.
Whoa, hey, whoa. It's in the archives. I might have to release that one day. Release it back out to the world.
With the 30 minutes of dead air.
Look, man, it was in the early days of the podcast. I wasn't exactly sure what I was doing, but I've come into my own. The content's gotten better here. The production's gotten better. The performance-enhancing audio's got a hell of a lot better. So we're moving on. We're moving on up. Just like good times.
Sounds great.
All right, man, let's get into it. So the Bulletcast Awards, that guy who used to be here, he named it the Casties. I'm not going to lie, I kind of liked it. I think it might have to stick.
I guess that's the only thing that's going to stick. Because apparently he doesn't stick around.
Oh, man. Hey, man. The invitation was open for him to be here with us. He didn't accept her. He actually didn't respond like usual, but...
I'm going to stick up for him if he's not here for a second. At least he gave us the Casties.
Yeah, man. I was listening to
silver
last
linings
year's.
Everywhere.
I was listening to last year's, All right, guys, let's talk about the awards for 2018. So, do you want to just jump right into it? Do we have any breaking news in the world of professional wrestling? Want to go over Raw and SmackDown or anything like that before we jump in?
Rusev Day is over?
Rusev Day, it's always over. Happy Rusev Day, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Rusev winning the United States Championship on his birthday.
The crowd in Fresno on SmackDown sounded very lively. It did not look very lively, though. So, I mean, I don't. Maybe it was like the upper decks were like super on fire, but then the people in the lower bowl were just kind of tired. So
Fickle.
I don't know what happened there.
I know.
Well, shout out Rusev Day, man. I'm really happy it's here. Hopefully it sticks. Maybe this will be just more fodder to keep the marks happy. But we'll see.
Oh, of course. Daniel Bryan attacking Truth Claws.
Horrible.
Horrible, man. He was just trying to spread some Christmas
Truth
cheer.
will have his revenge exactly around 30 days from now.
The Royal
when he's
Rumble?
number 30 in the Royal Rumble. Then we'll all be laughing about Truth when he's the winner of that bad boy.
Shout out Carmelfa.
Shout out. They all doing it right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into these Casties, the Bulletcast Awards. So, Breakout Star of the Year. Now, this is a category where this is the person who has really come into their own in 2018. So, the nominees are Rowdy Ronda Rousey, the new leader of the Bullet Club, Jay White, Flip Gordon, a man who finally got booked at All In, another competitor at All In, Jordan Grace. She was in the Over the Budget Battle Royale, and Walter. I know you're a fan of Walter.
My man.
Well, hey, my man too. All right, drum roll, please.
How is Walter a breakout star?
Ladies and gentlemen, it goes to Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Who else? Who really else, though? Debut match at Mania was one of the better matches on the show. She's continuously gotten better. I was at TLC a few weeks ago. That match with Nia Jax was great live. Her other match at Money in the Bank with her was great. I enjoyed the one at Evolution with Nikki Bella. So congrats to Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Made a nice little transition from the world of MMA over to the world of professional wrestling.
Fantastic year. Wow, she hit the ground running, right away with WrestleMania, right? Everybody kind of thought, oh, we have our reservations about that, but it ended up being all right. And she's faltered a little bit, stumbled here and there on the mic a couple Mondays, phoned it in a bit, but she's continuing to get better, and I can't wait to continue to see how she evolves.
Anything about Rowdy Ronda Rousey?
I mean, well deserved. I don't think, as you said, probably nobody else more deserving than her. Probably the greatest rookie year, possibly of all time. She, as you said, came in, had the best match at WrestleMania in my opinion. She has just gotten better. I said the Nia Jax match she just had at TLC, probably the best match either one of them have had in their career. And I don't know who exactly would be second place here, but Ronda Rousey, I think, definitely well deserved. She's the top female in wrestling at the moment, and she's just getting better.
I don't know. I mean, going on with Rousey for a little bit. I mean, when you look at rookie years in WWE.
I mean, this is her rookie year straight up in wrestling.
Straight up in wrestling, too. Yeah, but if you're looking at WWE, AJ had a nice one when he first came on the scene. Flair had one back in the day. Kurt Angle.
I mean, I think Kurt Angle's the only comparable person.
Yeah, that's the only real comparison you can make this to, coming from a different world of athletics into this performing world of athletics.
Or even Ken Shamrock or Brock Lesnar. I mean, maybe Brock Lesnar a little bit, but he had OVW, so.
He did have OVW when he was doing shooting star presses before he messed up at WrestleMania 19. But if you want to do a second place, I mean, could you say Flip Gordon?
I think Flip Gordon definitely might be my pick as second best, just because Jay White, he was there. Walter, we kind of knew a little bit about him, and Jordan Grace, no fault to her, but she's not as on the same level as all the other people. I think Flip Gordon kind of came out of nowhere with the whole being the elite stuff, and he really got himself over with all the stuff on that show, and then All In, it kind of culminated, and he's going to be one of the main fixtures on ROH going forward now that the elite is not on there anymore.
I know, trying to grab those damn brass rings, getting booked at All In. I've had the pleasure of meeting Flip Gordon. He's a nice guy, chill dude. I hope he can be the face of Ring of Honor moving forward and hopefully a future Ring of Honor champion. Anything about Flip?
He's going to have to be. There's not a lot of people that are going to be left once WWE swoops them all up.
I know. Their core is gone, man. Their core is gone.
I mean, Ronda had a great year. There's no other superstar on this name that deserves this accolade as far as a breakout star. I mean, she literally made waves throughout the industry as well as inside the locker room, right? All those girls had been working so hard for so many years, now all of a sudden have to go by the wayside. But it wasn't all for naught, because the product that she's putting out there in the ring, as far as in-ring work, her character work, it's all pretty solid. I'm really, really down on Ronda. I mean, possibly some of the feuds of the year as well with her. So I mean,
whole thing with her match at what was it, Survivor Series with Charlotte up until the you were there for that, Brandon?
Yes, I was. It was a very good match. Up
until the kendo stick.
Well, yes, the crowd was a little different because I thought they would go with Ronda, but they went with Charlotte. But the match itself in the ring, it was a very good match. I think Ronda has definitely gotten better in the ring, and she's kind of changed some stuff up. She's kind of getting those running knees and some more striking than the judo that she's been doing early on.
Yeah, her step-up knee and her step-up superwoman punch, I really enjoy that.
She's only going to get better.
Oh, absolutely. She's more than a cosplaying Rowdy Piper, as the man would say. Congratulations, Ronda Rousey. You are the Bulletcast Breakout Star of the Year for 2018. All right, moving on. Tag Team of the Year. Now, tag team wrestling, I'm a big fan of it. Four people in there. A lot of bodies moving. Cohesive units working. And I really enjoy it. I love tag team wrestling. So here we go. Nominees are the Young Bucks. Young Bucks shirt, Canadian shirt is wearing right here. I enjoy it.
Super Kick Party 80s retro. Don't really see anybody wearing this shirt. This is a gym shirt, so right after this, gonna pump it out.
All right, hey man, gotta get those gains. Make sure you got the 24-inch pythons.
Gotta work out all the candy.
He's flexing over here for us.
All the candy and cookies I ate yesterday.
Okay, I see him. I see him.
Probably gained like 10 pounds yesterday, but.
All right. So we have the Young Bucks. We have the New Day.
Rocks.
We have the they do rock. We have the Usos.
Sorry, you set me up for it.
Leaders of the Penitentiary. We have the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. That being, we have the Bar, current SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. We have my boys, the Gorillas of Destiny, and we have LAX. And the winner is, drum roll please, the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly, Roddy Strong. I mean, you really have to look at it with NXT this year in the tag team division, going over Mustache Mountain and Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch and the War Raiders, and Adam Cole helping them out to an extent. Undisputed Era, they were always missing something, and once Roddy joined them, I feel like, all right, they have it now. They have something. They were like 3 small guys. I mean, are they 4 kind of small average guys? Yeah, sure, but they're more of a cohesive unit now, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy what's going on with the Undisputed Era at the moment. 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions.
So 2018 was when Roderick Strong joined Undisputed Era. It was this year, or was it last year? Because 2018, this year has been a long year. A lot of stuff has happened.
I felt like it was this year because he was rolling with AOP into that first War Games, and then that was like almost towards the end of the year.
And then the Dusty Rhodes Classic, whatever.
Yeah, it was this year.
So it was
because Adam Cole had to pull double duty after he won the North American title.
Yep.
Yeah, because he was teaming with Pete Dunne, and then he turned on him. That's right. It was this year.
So I think that makes a whole lot of sense. They've done a lot of stuff with Roderick Strong joining and Bobby Fish joining at the end of the year. My vote might have been with the Young Bucks just because of what, maybe not in ring, but just because of what they did this year with All In and all this other stuff. And All In will be a topic of conversation later on with maybe Show of the Year. But, Undisputed Era is definitely a worthy person or tag team to be the tag team of the year. They've had great matches and they've done great promo work as well.
Yeah, getting all those Ring of Honor guys back together in NXT, little reunion. It seemed like the second they all 4 got together, they all really kind of like thrived.
Meshed well.
Yeah, probably from all the years of working together. Yeah. But that was really good. I would agree with Brandon. Young Bucks are deserving on there too, but for more what they bring to the business. If I look at that list right there, any list, number 1 tag team, if they were in any promotion, I would say probably is the Young Bucks, would shoot up to the top. But as far as like what's on film and in the populace's mind, right? Taking the indie card out of it, Undisputed Era for sure is well deserving of that, and they really did carry a lot of that NXT programming through the months that they were kind of recovering from the last little bump ups that they had.
Yeah, Undisputed Era, the theme song's badass. The way they walk to the ring, I don't like to use the word swag or swagger, but they have a lot of swag when they're making their way to the squared circle. The theme song's badass. Like I said, Kyle O'Reilly playing the championship like it's a guitar.
I'm sorry. You might have to edit that one.
Oh my god. Yeah, but
I didn't cuss.
my
That's
bad.
like a first.
Yeah, but anyway, it's whatever with those guys. And shout out Roderick Strong, liked a Bulletcast post yesterday on Christmas, so big ups to him,
Okay, we're not going to agree on all these because it wasn't just us who decided it. This was voted on by people. I don't know exactly who, but people voted on these. So
there was about like 20 different votes going around. I had Chris vote. We voted. I had Bimbo Jimbo and Baby Huey vote. Had a lot of people voting out here.
Yeah, there's 20 fans of professional wrestling in the Bay Area.
Actually,
for sure.
a whole band voted too. So shout out to the Clarences. Go check out their music. You can find them on Instagram. Yeah. So all right, moving on. Let's hop into it. Let's talk about the Woman Wrestler of the Year. All right. So the nominees are Little Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss, The Man, Becky Lynch, the new SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Asuka, Impact Wrestling Knockouts Champion, Tessa Blanchard, Charlotte, current NXT Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler, current Raw Women's Champion, Rowdy Ronda Rousey, Kairi Sane, and winner of the Mae Young Classic, Toni Storm. And the winner is, drum roll please, it's The Man! It's Becky Lynch! Who else really? Let's really think about this, guys. Like, what was it? SummerSlam, she turned on Charlotte, became this, people will say this Stone Cold S or Stone Cold Jace character, and then she's gone on to be excellent on the mic, destroying people on Twitter. I don't know how to explain it, man. The man gets me hyped up. Brandon, what are your thoughts on Becky Lynch?
I love Becky Lynch. I was on the Becky bandwagon before there was anybody else. I was all by myself, and then
when she was dark-haired Becky.
Back when she was, doing that Irish jig in NXT, Becky.
Hey.
But, I think my vote was actually for Ronda. I just think Ronda was such a big star and such a breakout person that I voted for her. But, no, Becky Lynch, I love her. She's done so much great work on the mic, in the ring, and stuff like that. So, definitely well-deserving and because I kind of took more of account that Ronda Rousey was kind of over and a big deal. The entire year, Becky Lynch has kind of come in the last few months, but Becky Lynch is definitely a deserving winner of this.
Yeah, I think she was my choice. I think Becky was my choice just because she was the most polarizing of the year, for sure. Just her swagger. I feel like for being like downtrodden for so long in the WWE programming and not really getting her just due after the Four Horsewomen, I liked seeing her kind of resurgence, her little rise up. But shout out to this list because you could argue each and every single one of these gals. Could be deserving of Women's Wrestler of the Year, and it just goes to speak to the quality of the product of women's wrestling currently across all platforms. So it's really great.
Yeah, I mean, Becky Lynch, I think what really put her ahead in fans' minds was when she invaded Raw with the SmackDown Women's locker room, and then the face breaker Nia Jax busts her open, and then you see Becky Lynch just on the steps talking trash to the Raw Women's division, and then people said it was equivalent of when Stone Cold was dripping blood in that awesome match with Bret Hart and he passed out. People were saying that's her Irish war paint and all that other stuff. But Becky, she's really coming to her own as a performer, and I feel like she's more comfortable in this role than she was just being the happy-go-lucky Irish chick with smoke and goggles.
So many people say that they feel more comfortable being a heel because you can just do whatever you want. If you mess up, you mess up, and if you're a babyface, you have to be kind of perfect. And if you're a heel, you can just do whatever. And obviously, she's not a heel; she's a babyface. But I think the swagger that she has and the character that she's gotten over has been fantastic. And one of the I know technically she's not a breakout star because she's been here forever, but I think she can be talked about as maybe a breakout star of the year as well.
Yeah, I think she could be in a breakout category as far as character development and whatnot. Anything else on the man?
Good year for the man. Asuka, they killed her. They killed the streak with Charlotte going over that match. But Asuka had a good year too with the Royal Rumble victory at the beginning of the year. You can't forget
going into Mania. Then she had a real lull period the rest of the year, but TLC she won the title, and big things are going to be in the works for Asuka moving forward, coming up against a WrestleMania season again.
Yeah, the top of that card stacked. Love it.
Shout out Shayna Baszler. She's done some great work this year.
Oh my God.
I mean, I think she definitely is deserving to maybe even be winner of this award because she's done such great work in NXT as a heel.
Carried NXT.
And not just as a character, but having great matches with people as well.
I think she'd be runner-up in this category. Her the way she would stomp on Kairi Sane's arms and ankles in those matches.
Just love her picking on Dakota Kai. That was some of my favorite work this year too. Loved it.
Yeah, Shayna Baszler. She's really coming to her own too. So I'm excited to see what she does in 2019 as well.
Yeah, there's a women's show on the horizon for sure.
Bring up the Four Horsewomen, have them all be heels. See what Ronda. I know this isn't a current events topic, but just maybe Ronda turns heel and she can join up with the Four Horsewomen. I think that'd be something fantastic to see.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, promo of the year. Here we go. The nominees are Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker on Raw, really hyping up the last time ever Triple H and The Undertaker would battle inside of a squared circle. Some really amazing lines were dropped in there. There was real emotion coming from HBK. And then you have Chris Jericho doing a promo with the Turtle, which I saw. It was amusing. Get angry old man Jericho. That's always fun. Daniel Bryan, his first heel promo as WWE Champion, saying that the old Daniel Bryan is dead and this is the new Daniel Bryan, getting rid of those side plates on the WWE Championship. And then Becky Lynch, her first promo after destroying Charlotte at SummerSlam, becoming the man. And then, of course, Triple H, the night after SummerSlam, saying how his era is back, how his era, those guys went out there, they left all their blood, sweat, and tears and all that other stuff. So, the drum roll, please. Daniel Bryan heel promo. The old Daniel Bryan is gone. The new Daniel Bryan is in. Fickle.
Yes is dead.
Yes is dead. What are your thoughts on the new Daniel Bryan winning promo of the year?
I think much deserving. To be honest, this wasn't a strong year in terms of very memorable promos. I don't remember what the winner was last year, but late addition that could have been considered promo of the year after the deadline was the promo that Daniel Bryan cut before TLC where he had Mike Rome and Kathy Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you saw that, but it was a fantastic promo. He yells for a couple minutes, then he whispers for at the very end of the promo. It was just fantastic promo stuff from Daniel Bryan, and I know we're not talking about SmackDown and stuff like that, but I just think the Daniel Bryan
throw
stuff,
it in there.
the Daniel Bryan stuff he's been doing like today or this week on with Saint or whatever, Truth Claus, whatever his name is. He's saying true things about like the polar ice caps melting and like things that shouldn't be heelish, but apparently it is heelish because that's what the McMahons think is. He's a crazy hippie. That's what makes him a heel, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, every heel has to have truth to him, and Daniel has a whole lot of truth to him. That's why you have your reusable water bottle.
That I made a huge dent last time I came on the show. Dropped it in the Chabot parking lot.
That's all right. It adds character to the water bottle, man.
Yeah, I know.
And then Daniel is going to get a vegan-friendly strap for the WWE Champions. I can't wait for that.
That's ridiculous.
That's going to be awesome.
I mean, I thought you would enjoy the hemp strap.
I mean,
That's going to be awesome. I can't wait for it. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to love everything about it.
I don't know. Man, it was good work from Daniel Bryan this year. I love how he injects some of his realness, some of his real personality into that character is pretty good. So
Yeah.
I'm all for
Speaking
it.
of real, the reason we don't have like the Roman Reigns promo in there, it's a whole different category. I just don't think it would have been fair to have a
the one word promo.
well,
No,
him having cancer,
Leukemia,
just
yeah.
stuff like
So,
that. The whole Roman Reigns cancer.
If we were to
thing.
have like a feel spot moment of the year, that obviously would win. Roman Reigns announcing he has leukemia, but we didn't want to put that in here. We didn't want to glorify him having blood cancer. We didn't want to do anything
well, it's just
like
a
that.
different it's a whole different category.
Yeah, that too.
It's just it's no fair for people who are doing a work promo to someone who's doing a real life promo and.
I hope Roman is getting better though. Hopefully he'll make a return pretty soon. All right, moving on from that OMG moment of the year. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Number 1, Daniel Bryan getting cleared. Number 2, Chris Jericho appears at All In and attacks Kenny Omega. Number 3, Shawn Michaels comes out of retirement.
With no hair.
Yes, with no hair. Bald HBK, I still can't get used to that. Randy Orton tries ripping Jeff Hardy's ear off. Daniel Bryan's heel turn. Joey Ryan is resurrected at All In, and the SmackDown women invade Raw. And the winner is, drumroll please, Daniel Bryan gets cleared. He can wrestle again. Now, I know you have thoughts on this. So let's have Brandon talk about his boy D-Bry, and then you can unleash your thoughts.
My boy D-Bry, I was very happy the day he got cleared. It was definitely an OMG moment, thinking that, he's never going to wrestle again, at least in WWE, thinking that he's going to leave the company and wrestle on the indie scenes and do all that other stuff. But with him returning whenever it was this year, it was a fantastic moment, and and then learning about all the different stuff that he's done to the hyperbaric chamber, which led up to the new Daniel Bryan. So it's all because of him getting cleared is the reason we have the new Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I definitely think it was the oh my god moment of the year. I think it's well deserving. I do think it's a work. We've talked about this multiple times.
Just tell the world right now, man.
I think the whole Daniel Bryan injury is a work from Jump Street. I think that Daniel Bryan's that good of a worker. I think he's that good of a professional wrestler. I think the guy wanted to have a kid, wanted to take some time off that grueling schedule, and what better way to just it's a masterclass on working and trolling an audience, and I'll say that from time to time down, I'll keep on saying that. You're not injured for 3 years, and then all of a sudden now, magically my serious injury is not an injury anymore, and I can go ahead and wrestle. So I think that's a work, but well deserving moment for sure, by far. And maybe Titus World Slide would have been the de facto. That's my honorable mention. It wasn't a choice, but. Throw it out there.
When I did the Black Power Ranking Awards, I think funniest moment of the year, I think he won that one,
Yeah.
or something like that. So, or he was a mentioner, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Do you think the Daniel Bryan injury was a work, Brandon?
Well, I don't think it's completely a work. I would say that I'm not going to say Daniel Bryan was in on the work, but I wouldn't be shocked if WWE thought that maybe he could be cleared. But just because for safety precautions or them not wanting to get Daniel Bryan over, because maybe Daniel Bryan would get over more than Roman Reigns would, so they just kind of held him back, and then seeing that, he's going to go and wrestle regardless if we keep him or not, so why don't we just clear him so we can have him under our control, and so he doesn't appear at All In or whatever else they think that he might do. So I'm not going to sit here and say it is a complete work, but I wouldn't be shocked to see if WWE didn't clear him just because of outside, factors.
Yes. All right.
What if those outside factories are at work?
Okay. We're getting into all these
Yeah,
conspiracy theories, and we're getting really in depth here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
That's why it's the OMG moment of the year. That's why it's the right one, for sure.
The worst moment of the year.
What does worst moment of the year mean?
Worst moment of the year, it means just, well, as you can see, what won, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Worst moment of the year means just from, it could be a storyline standpoint, or it can just be from real life occurrences. So
it's not just strictly a terrible segment.
No, it's not strictly just a terrible segment. It can. So with that being said, the nominees are number 1, WWE and the Saudi Arabia deal. Number 2, Hulk Hogan makes a WWE return
at Saudi Arabia.
At the Saudi Arabian show.
Double dipping.
Yeah, 2 birds with 1 stone. Sasha Banks and Bayley open forum, which was atrocious segment, and LAX get a kid killed on Impact Wrestling. Now, nobody really died. It was kayfabe. They were walking in the street, and then a car runs over the kid. And then, if you've ever seen Boys in the Hood, when Ricky gets shot, they was it Cuban Gooding Jr. yells Ricky. So that was the kid's name in the segment. They were like, Ricky! You know, playing back to that iconic moment in motion pictures.
Just playing off of a child's death.
Yeah.
That's what makes it the worst.
Impact, not the best, you know? Not the best in this PG era of wrestling that we live in, you know?
So you don't say we don't talk about TNA.
Yeah, exactly.
We got Impact on the show.
Yeah, they got on here twice, you know, with Tessa Blanchard and now this. We discuss Impact Wrestling, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
Jordan Grace is a part of Impact now. So.
Yep, 3 times. He got on here 3 times. There you go, guys. All right, the nominee goes to... I mean, not the nominee. The award goes to... Drum roll, please. WWE and the Saudi Arabia deal.
Which apparently there might be more Saudi shows.
Brandon, you were big on this. Why don't you talk about it?
Well, I mean, just from Saudi Arabia, they've done 2 shows, but I think the one that we're going to talk about most is the Crown Jewel event. And I talked about it even during the Royal Rumble, the greatest Royal Rumble event, that they shouldn't be doing stuff with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, there's just so much stuff to go into. If you don't know about it, go look it up. It's not that hard to find. They've done, terrible things in the Middle East. There's restrictions on women. They're definitely against gay rights and all this other stuff.
Killed a journalist.
And then it all came to pass when, Jamal Khashoggi gets murdered inside the Saudi embassy.
Yes.
And this was 2-3 weeks before the Crown Jewel event, and everyone was thinking oh, maybe they shouldn't pull out, but then they end up just going through with the show, and then they don't even talk about where they are. Then the next couple weeks when they go referring back to it, because they had the Universal title match with Braun and Brock, they don't even say that it was in Saudi Arabia or even Crown Jewel. They just said, last week or whenever it was. And it was just a terrible thing all the way around. Politically, it was a terrible show, and just everything.
Ethics and morals.
Yeah, socially, I was going to say socially it wasn't a good look. But I think if you're going to look back on this is just going to be another one of those little blips.
And it also has the Hulk Hogan thrown in there too.
Yeah, it'll be just another little blip of sort of bad taste that WWE has had over the years. And that's not going to change. Regardless what you want to say about it politically or not, or even the effects the United States has had politically and socially in the Middle East as well, which we all kind of forget about even as Americans. And this is coming from somebody that's almost as far left as you can be. But yeah, man, it's unfortunate that everything kind of coincided with the whole Jamal Khashoggi incident, and it wasn't a good look for WWE, and it's rightfully the worst thing that happened all year, without a doubt.
Yeah, I wrote an article for the Chappelle Spectator about this whole thing. I called it Money in the Sand. I wanted to call it Blood Money in the Sand, but I wasn't allowed to. Yeah, I mean, just this whole deal, despite human morals and ethics and just common sense about going back over there, they could have pulled out. They could have left the tournament go at Survivor Series or anything like that, but WWE released a statement. They had a contractual obligation to fill. So, they did this show. I don't think they should go back there. And plus, they let Hulk Hogan come back, of all things.
And he hasn't been on WWE programming since.
No, they knew he'd get a pop there. They knew he'd get a pop there. That's the whole thing. But yeah, this was not a good move by WWE. This was not a good move at all. Hopefully, Vince and other higher ups in the company realize that if they want to keep a positive public image, they should not go back to Saudi Arabia.
Man, they're gonna keep on going back to that well for sure.
Yeah.
You know it is the do re mi is too much, and at the end of the day, 5-10 years from now, we're not even gonna be talking about it. We're gonna be like, hey, remember that Crown Jewel event? And then you'll kind of think about it, but I don't think it's enough to really hurt WWE stock or their kind of view.
Yeah.
Throughout the
Well-
greater world, because it's really about wrestling. It's not about anything else.
And ratings have gone down ever since the show, and I'm not going to say it was because of the show, because of the relationship with Saudi Arabia, but there's just been so many different things that, obviously, I think the Saudi Arabia deal might have something to do with the show just not getting as many viewers. So maybe people were just, like, turned off, and as you said, WWE has done shady things in the past. Maybe this was, like, the last straw
Yeah.
for some people.
I mean, Crown Jewel did give us Best in the World Shane McMahon.
For sure.
If you want to look at the positive light at the end of the tunnel, we got Best in the World Shane McMahon.
For sure.
But then we got bald Shawn Michaels wrestling.
Oh, don't speak
Coming out of retirement and then never showing back up again.
Don't speak of it. Don't speak of it. Oh, God. All right, ladies and gentlemen, heel turn of the year. Now, I love heels. They're my favorite characters in wrestling. I'm a heel in real life. Heel all day. All right, so let's get into it. Here we go. So, the Tongans turn on the Bullet Club at the G1 special show in the Cow Palace.
Oh, man.
I believe all of us were in the house for that one.
Yes.
Yes.
Loving it.
All right, number 2, Becky Lynch turns on Charlotte at SummerSlam. Number 3, Dean Ambrose turns on Seth Rollins the night Roman Reigns announces he has leukemia. Number 4, Daniel Bryan low blows AJ Styles to win the WWE Championship on SmackDown Live. And Shinsuke Nakamura low blows AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
Poor AJ
34.
Styles.
I know. You can't have any more kids, man.
No,
Yeah.
not after this
He
year.
ain't getting no more tattoos?
No, probably not. All right, drum roll, please. And the winners are, we have a tie.
Ooh.
Becky turns on Charlotte, and Daniel Bryan low blows AJ Styles. Which one do you guys want to talk about first?
I think my vote would have been for Daniel Bryan turning AJ, but it is what it is. If we're going to break a tie, but apparently there's no tie.
I don't know, man. I was like, when I did the final tally, it'd be interesting to have 2 win this one, so that's why I kept it there.
I think Daniel Bryan is my vote, just because we've never seen him more heel before. Like, everybody kind of knows that he can do that, but until you really see it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Daniel Bryan fan and you watch his Ring of Honor stuff, or even
Well, I mean, we kind of forget the whole yes thing started because he was a heel.
yeah, all of that, but the Daniel Bryan one was it shocking? Yes, the Becky Lynch one, you may have kind of saw it coming.
I think it was more over just because the crowd loved Becky so much. I mean, it was a heel turn, but it wasn't like a shocking heel turn. Everyone was booing her. It was just like, oh, they were cheering her because they didn't like Charlotte. But with the Daniel Bryan one, I think it was a more effective heel turn because people were shocked and they actually didn't like Daniel Bryan got booed at Survivor Series because of what he did to AJ Styles, and I thought that would never happen.
Yeah, it gave us a really nice match with him and Brock. I thought that was great. But if I'm looking at a runner-up between these, I want to say Dean and Seth, because Dean, it was teased that he was going to turn all this time, but to do it on the night in which Roman Reigns announced he had leukemia, genius booking. Genius booking.
Yeah, I'm with
that's
that.
Vince pulling at the heartstrings.
I didn't think that was cheap at all. I thought that was a good move too.
Yeah, that was Vince pulling at the heartstrings. That's what that was. Thoughts on the Ambrose heel turn on Seth?
I'm with you. I'm not against it being on the same night as Roman. I think taking advantage of the situation at hand, obviously, that wasn't supposed to happen that night. And I think the execution was very well done. I mean, I was very excited for Dean Ambrose to be a heel. I thought he was showing great fire. And ever since then, it just has kind of gone downhill for me. But just the heel turn itself, I thought it was a very well heel turn. Very good heel turn.
Yes. Are there any other heel turns you can think of that we could talk about real quick?
Yeah, I mean, Cody and Kenny, I guess that kind of thing. Going up to
Bullet Club is fine.
the whole Bullet Club dissension angle. That's probably one of the ones that stands out that's not on the list, but
Yeah.
then they all got back together. It was fine.
Of course, Bullet Club is... The Elite is fine. I see the Elite have new shirts out. I had to order my American Nightmare one with Pharaoh on it.
Shout out Pharaoh.
Shout out Pharaoh.
Maybe he's Breakout Star of the Year. He should have been put on the list.
Oh my god, he got an amazing reaction at All In.
Maybe Pop of the Night.
Hey, there we go. You might just be right. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, storyline of the year. Now, this is the storyline in which was the best one out of 2018. It's just that simple. So, the nominees are John Cena finding a road to WrestleMania, 2, the Golden Lovers reunite, 3, Bullet Club Civil War, 4, Becky Lynch becoming the Man, 5. Who attacked Aleister Black? And 6. Roman Reigns finally beating Lesnar. Drum roll, please. The Golden Lovers reunite.
That one, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of a shocker to me that is the winner.
I know.
Yeah, I wasn't picking that one either, but
You know,
that's cool.
I think my pick was, I enjoyed the Aleister Black, who attacked him, but I think the Becky Lynch one for me. I don't know. What did you pick?
I think I picked the Whodunit with Aleister Black, but the Golden Lovers reuniting, I think it was a very emotional not a heel turn, but a very emotional reunion in a storyline. And if you watched like the YouTube video that someone did, it's like a half-hour long. It basically goes through the entire history of Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi's relationship going back to DDT. And I just think it's a great storyline, even though it's not like completely woven between all these different promotions. Like, it's not like DDT told New Japan to do all this stuff, but
Yeah.
I think just in the moment, I think it was a very well done storyline. And the reunion when they came to hug when Kota Ibushi came to save Kenny after the attack from Cody Rhodes. So, a little continuity there, but I'm not gonna downplay. I thought it was good. I just don't think I wouldn't have picked it, but I think it's one of those things where it's early in the year that maybe we just forget about it.
Yeah, I'm going Roman. That was my choice. Was when Roman finally went over on Brock. I love that, but I'm a Roman guy, so I was like, man, finally that Universal strap right where it needs to be. And then of course, everything else happened with that situation, but I can't wait for Roman to come back. He's gonna be great.
Yeah, no, I mean the whole Roman thing. Vince didn't pull the trigger at WrestleMania. The crowd booed it out of the building. I watched it back. It was a decent match. It was fine. The Roman dripping the crimson mask and all the other stuff at SummerSlam when he beats Lesnar. It's about 4.5 minutes. They gave us 4 hot minutes. It was quick, simple. Strowman comes out there, and they did it to an effect where the crowd really didn't have a chance to boo Roman. That's why they cut it off pretty quick. So yeah, but Golden Lovers reuniting. For all the New Japan marks who listen to the show, Carlos and Ulysses, there you guys go.
New Japan gets one this time.
You guys get one. I mean, no, they got one last year.
I think Wrestle Kingdom or something won like Show of the Year.
No, it was Omega and Okada was Feud of the Year last year. That's
as it should have been. And I mean, I was proponent of Okada being Superstar of the Year, or Wrestler of the Year, but I was outmanned by you and the other guy. You were standing. You and him were with AJ, and I was with Okada.
I mean, he won. That's what the people voted for.
Not my people.
Oh,
not my people.
Okay. I mean, Kenny was runner-up last year. He was runner-up last year.
Once again, it should have been Okada.
I'm sorry, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, championship win of the year. This is the title win that it really hit you in the feel spot, or you just felt like it was a right move. So
I can't believe this one. Rail it off.
It did win, bro. All right, so here we go. The nominees are Kenny Omega winning the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Dominion, Roman Reigns winning the Universal Championship at SummerSlam, Cody Rhodes winning the NWA Heavyweight Championship at All In, Becky Lynch winning the SmackDown Live Women's Championship at Hell in a Cell, Daniel Bryan winning the WWE Championship on SmackDown Live, and Tommaso Ciampa winning the NXT Championship on NXT TV. Drum roll, please. Cody Rhodes, the NWA title, All In. Now, it was a tie. It was a tie between Omega and Cody, and I got like a last-minute vote in, and that's what put Cody over. We were about to have 2 for this one too if I didn't get that last-minute vote, so it was crazy. But thoughts on the winner?
Cody Rhodes winning the All In, definitely one of the highlights of the year. The show itself, I think this was kind of like maybe the biggest match, or at least most storyline-driven match out of all the other ones at All In. I think just the gravitas that it had, and it kind of elevated the NWA Championship. Obviously, I don't know exactly what happened behind the scenes, so Cody's no longer champion anymore. But I think in the moment, it was very good. The match itself wasn't the best. My vote would have been for Kenny just because of the storyline that it had with all the other matches that went into it. The match itself was very long, but I just think the emotion of Kenny winning was a little bit more than Cody, just because, yes, Cody has the relationship with his dad, but I thought Kenny had a much more direct tie to the championship.
Yeah, I'm with you on that with the Kenny thing. I mean, finally getting the belt was well deserved for him and all the work that he's done in New Japan and all those 5-star matches he's been pumping out on every single show with those guys for sure. But I just thought it was kind of, they put the belt on Cody because that was his dad's belt, right? And Billy Corgan needed a pop. and was piggybacking on All In as he's trying to get his promotion going on the ground. I don't know any of the backstage stuff or why Cody dropped that belt so quickly, but it was sort of just a flash in the pan, and that's why for me it wasn't the choice. You know where I'm going with my pick was with Roman Reigns, of course, the big dog, finally triumphing over Lesnar. So, but I think they're all really good moments, and I think those were all the championship pops that were well deserving to be on this list for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Kenny Omega, I felt like they should have capitalized on it sooner. Him winning that title a little bit sooner. They didn't.
Like coming off of his G1 victory?
Yeah, but, he had that thing with Jericho at, Wrestle Kingdom. So that's why he didn't get into that title picture. But Dominion, he got it. You could see the emotion, but then, I mean, just Cody, like Brendan said, it's his dad's title. How many father-son heavyweight champions are there? There's only one pair, and it's Cody and Dusty.
For sure.
So, and plus the emotion and Brandy and the bleach blonde hair and blood in it, and Pharaoh. Bleach blonde hair and blood in it, just like his dad used to have. So it just made sense. That was obviously my pick. You guys know I'm a Cody guy. But, yeah, it came down to the wire with Cody and Kenny. How ironic. How ironic, yeah. All right. Show of the year. Let's get into it. So, the nominees are Wrestle Kingdom, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, NXT TakeOver Chicago, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, SummerSlam, All In, Evolution, the first ever WWE Women's Pay-Per-View, and NXT TakeOver War Games. You were in the house for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, drum roll please. All In.
As it should be.
All In got the victory.
That is the one I picked, not because it was the best show. I think maybe, technically speaking, Wrestle Kingdom, one of the NXT TakeOver shows, might have been the show of the year, technically speaking. But I think
Absolutely.
All In definitely deserves to be the show of the year just because of what it represents. A truly independent show that sold out a 10,000-seat arena since whatever WCW happened so long ago. And I think All In definitely deserves being show of the year just because it represents such a much bigger thing. And going on, we might have an All In 2 in our awards next year.
My choice was Evolution just because of what it meant for the moment and for women's wrestling and for the year that we had and in 2018 politically and socially. And I was all in on Evolution for sure. Pun intended.
Yeah, no, I think Evolution be a runner-up, absolutely, especially one of these takeovers.
Plus, the quality of the matches on Evolution were
Yeah, and it
way
just
high. It
felt different.
Yeah, it felt great.
Yeah.
It was good.
But All In, I mean, Cody and the Bucks, they took a bet from Big Dave, who's sitting over in San Francisco right now.
San Jose, but it was
San Jose. Oh,
come on, we gotta know this. We're in the Bay. We gotta know.
oh well, my bad. No, but they took a bet on themselves and they sold out 10,000 plus seats in like under 30 minutes for an indie show. And then, I mean, the caliber of talent that was on this show and all the stuff that happened. I mean, Black Machismo versus Flip Gordon and Kenny versus Pentagon, but that was a really good one. Of course, the surprise with Jericho. Yeah, All In.
All In almost made it to the Cow Palace.
All In almost made it. Oh
Cow
my God,
Palace
that
was
would've
like
been-
one of the last places
That
they
would have
almost
been
picked.
fantastic.
They almost picked Cow
They
Palace.
almost
I
picked
didn't
it,
know
but
that.
it
That
was
would've been
basically
awesome.
they were gonna run the same weekend as the New Japan show, so they said, yeah, no.
Yeah, it was awesome. No, but I've said it before. All In was a godsend. That Cody has said it. WWE is great, but they don't own professional wrestling. No man or single entity owns professional wrestling, and this was this is proof of that. And hopefully we get All In 2, Double or Nothing. I'm pushing for an All In 3, third time's a charm. You heard it here first. If they ever tried to trademark that, it's mine.
For sure. Just in speaking of All In and the success that it had, it was good for professional wrestling for sure. Now Vince has somebody that is nipping at his heels a little bit, right? Competition breeds makes everything more successful, and so hopefully we start seeing a better WWE product because there's going to be a second flavor in town. A little bit of a different taste once what is it called? All
Elite Wrestling.
All Elite Wrestling gets
Yeah.
going on. Yeah. So.
Do you guys want to talk about any of the other shows from this year?
Well, I mean, I was at War Games. That was probably one of the best shows I've ever been to, even though I was plastered, to be honest. I don't remember, the pre-show happenings, but it was a very good show. I'm not going to say it was the best takeover of the year, to be honest. I think the WrestleMania one with Gargano and Ciampa, I think, I might show my hand a little bit, but I thought that was one of the best matches of the year. And I thought,
Absolutely, that was one of the best matches of the year
and
for sure.
you know,
Yeah,
you
it
guys
was
were really
awesome.
high on Evolution, and I wouldn't say obviously Evolution was an important show. I wouldn't say it was the second best show of the year, just because I'm a little more cynical with the whole women's revolution thing, because it wasn't the first ever women's pay per view ever, you know, of all or
Yeah,
whatever Shimmer and all those other places do it all the
TNA's
time.
done it before.
But you know, I think one of the NXT shows might be my choice for second best show of the year.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was just the wrong NXT choice or NXT show choice for this. NXT Chicago was a lot better than that. But as a whole, any NXT show, wire to wire, is by far the highest quality wrestling that you could possibly watch on TV.
I don't know, man. NXT Takeover War Games, Velveteen Dream from a performance stamp. Oh my god, that was awesome.
You just like the costume. You like
I did. Dude, I've said it before. Like, I'm more excited for Velveteen Dream to be Hogan than Hogan himself. I'm telling you, Royal Rumble, Hogan's music hits, and it's Dream, and the Dream's running wild, brother. You know, I'm excited for that. No, but Dream and Ciampa, they clashed well together. Hopefully, they work again in the future. But All in, we said it before. It reached new levels of.
But next year,
wrestling.
I think they have to bring, you know, if they have All Into or whatever it's called, it can't just be, you know, the second one. It has to be different. It has to have more of a storyline driven than this show did. So if there is another show next year, it might not be have the same, you know, might not be at an advantage like this one was.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, feud of the year. So this was the best. This was the best feud of the year. This was the guys going at it, trying to rip each other's arms off and trying to take each other's heads off and all that other stuff. So, with that being said, number 1, Cody versus Kenny. Number 2, Gargano versus Ciampa. Number 3, Styles versus Samoa Joe. Number 4, Miz versus Bryan. 5, Becky versus Charlotte. 6, Lesnar versus Reigns. 7, Baszler versus Zayn. Drum roll, please. Gargano and Ciampa. Could it be anybody else?
No.
No, I mean,
that's the choice.
amazing matches, amazing feud. I mean, it dates all the way back to when Ciampa turned on Gargano when they had like the little copyright in the left-hand corner, making us think it was all done, and then they swerved us. They played with the heartstrings, and that led to some awesome matches between these guys, and a really nice one over the NXT Championship. And that, what was it, Last Man Standing? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole year culmination, that feud finally coming together once they were both healthy and able to do it. And both of them are coming out at the end of it, right? One's the NXT champion, and one's one of the hottest, continue to be one of the hottest acts around. So, I mean, yeah, by far. That was my choice. When Tommaso turned on Johnny for the first, when that really happened, when they broke up DIY, that was really, really emotional that night, as far as from a viewership standpoint. And they paid it off. They couldn't have paid it off any better. It was really great. I love the Blackheart. It's really good.
The payoff hasn't truly happened yet.
Well,
Gargano has to beat Ciampa for the title.
well, he got to keep his job.
He got to keep his job. Brandon, you cover the NXT stuff on Under the Radar, award-winning Under the Radar. So
Coming this Friday.
Coming this Friday. All right.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts?
I think I'm pretty sure this is the one I picked. Gargano Ciampa. Fantastic feud. Their 2 matches they had early on in the year was fantastic. The third one obviously wasn't as great as I thought the other ones were, but I give them a little bit of a pass since the whole Aleister Black thing happened. And then just kind of a little twist is now that it seems like they might be back together after the last the cage match with Gargano and Black. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do in 2019. Do they turn Gargano babyface on Ciampa just to maybe they do a rematch at the WrestleMania weekend for the title? Who knows? But I think this feud definitely could be possibly winner next year as well.
A dark DIY? I digs it. I enjoy it. All right. Do you want to talk about any of these other feuds? Styles and Joe was interesting. That was an interesting feud.
Kick over to a man's house and invade his home, dude. That was crazy.
I'll be your new daddy. Like that. that line. If we had line of the year, that probably would have won. Brandon, you have any thoughts on any of these other feuds?
I think one was probably the Cody Kenny thing. It was kind of, it might have been, I'm not going to say rushed, but it was only like, 2 shows they really had matches on, and a lot of it was just kind of the build on being the elite and stuff like that. So I think that was kind of something that you can see going forward with wrestling using the internet as a platform to build up their storylines.
Yeah, I mean, that match they had at the G1 special in the Cow Palace, that was awesome.
The ladder match was,
It
or
turned into
that ladder spot was sick.
Yeah, it turned into a TLC match. Cody bashed his head against the table and all that other stuff. Miz and Daniel Bryan, I don't feel like that feud is truly over. I could see a babyface Miz going into Mania to try to defeat a heel Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. Lynch and Charlotte, some would say they reached Austin Rock level rivalry. I don't know about all that, but the Evolution match they had together was awesome. And then Roman and Lesnar, I feel like those guys are gonna fight forever. They're gonna meet each other again pretty soon.
The new John Cena, Randy Orton.
Yeah, possibly. Actually no, we don't know how much time Lesnar has left in WWE. But Baszler Zayn, I enjoyed that one too. I enjoyed the series of matches they had.
Yeah, that would be probably my second pick is Shayna and Kairi Sane.
Yeah.
They did a really good job.
All right, match of the year. Let's get into it, fellas. So, the nominees are Almas versus Gargano NXT title takeover Philadelphia, the Raw Gauntlet match from February 19th of 2018 where Seth Rollins went over an hour. Gargano versus Ciampa NXT takeover New Orleans, Omega versus Okada 4 for the IWGP title at Dominion, Charlotte versus Becky Lynch SmackDown Live Women's Championship Evolution, Cody versus Kenny IWGP Heavyweight Championship G1 Special at the Cow Palace, Adam Cole versus Ricochet the NXT North American Championship Takeover Brooklyn, and Kenny versus Pentagon Jr. All In. Drum roll, please. Gargano versus Ciampa Takeover New Orleans, Takeover NOLA. Thoughts, comments?
I mean, this was by far my favorite match of the year. I think it was great, just the storyline that they had, a year build. And the Kenny Okada match might have been my second favorite, but I think it was just way too long. I think this was just perfect length, great storytelling. And then Gargano ends up going over in the end, just with the storyline of him getting with the crossface with the knee brace and all the stuff going on. Definitely by far the best match of that weekend and best match of the year.
Yeah, loved it. Loved the storyline behind it. Loved the lose no career over. I always love career matches. I think that was by far the match of the year. The build, everything was great. My second pick would have been the Adam Cole Ricochet, just for the spot to the back of the neck. The greatest wrestling spot I've ever seen in my life. But from a total standpoint, from a wrestling standpoint, quality in the ring, as far as storytelling and everything, Gargano and Ciampa, man, they take the cake. Masterclass.
I think it just shows how great wrestling can be. That's like the very heights that wrestling can be, because it just had so much emotion, and then the match backed it up. Sometimes the matches don't back it up. Like, to be honest, the Kenny Cody match at ROH, didn't live up to the hype, but this one definitely did.
Yeah, Gargano and Ciampa reminds me of Hunter and HBK back in the day, like Bad Blood in '04. That the matches they had there. Then when Shawn comes back and has that brawl with Hunter at SummerSlam? Yeah, so, best friends turn bitter enemies, having great matches together. It all speaks for itself. Other matches on this? I mean, Cody versus Kenny, the second one was way better than the ROH one. Kenny and Pentagon, that was nice. Adam Cole Ricochet, like you said, that spot, I mean, it's produced memes of record scratch. I bet you're wondering how I got in this position, stuff like that. So yeah, it's just a great showing of what this can do. And Gargano and Almas, they got 5 stars. It was like WWE's first 5-star match since like Punk and Cena at Money in the Bank 2011. So
For sure, that was fire.
yeah,
I mean, just the Gargano and Ciampa. The only thing that breaks my heart about that whole feud is that it was been done on NXT television on the internet versus like being on the eyes of like the main public and on the main roster. That's the only shame about that, because just what Brandon said, that is the absolute tippy heights of what wrestling can be as far as from a viewership standpoint. And it's a shame that it happened on NXT and not on the main roster. But hopefully we'll get a little rehash one day. We will.
Any other matches you thought could have been match of the year?
A possible match of the year, but unfortunately had to be cut for time, was the 6-man at the main event of All In. Who knows how good that match could have been, but unfortunately, that's what happens when you run a show for the first time and you have hard deadlines. They just kind of had to run through other spots, and the spots were fun, but if you spread it out for give an extra 10 minutes, maybe it could have been something special.
True. All right. I guess it's time for Male Wrestler of the Year.
Is this the main event?
It's the main event, the showstopper. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have 10 nominees and only one winner. So, here we go. The nominees are the phenomenal AJ Styles, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, Cody Rhodes, Kaz Okada. I know you hate that, I'm sorry.
It's Kazuchika, but whatever.
I know. Roman Reigns, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa. Drum roll, please. The phenomenal AJ Styles held the title for a year, all this other stuff. Where there's some lull periods in the title reign, you could say that with him wrestling Nakamura over and over and over again. But in between the ropes, AJ, best wrestler in the world. I mean, it's just that simple. Second year in a row, though, that he's Wrestler of the Year for the Castie award.
I was gonna say, important thing that you said. He held the belt, right? The belt.
That's not a belt, it's a title.
The title, right?
There you go.
He held the title. So that's why he's number one, man. He had the WWE strap.
Yeah, man. I mean, looking at it, Kenny was runner-up again. But I got a couple more votes in a few days ago, and it evened out to AJ. Thoughts on this?
I think this one was a lot harder than I expected it being because I kind of looked over and there's so many people. Not saying that there was one person that was super deserving. I think a lot of great people have done some work this year. I think Kenny is another one. I think Tommaso Ciampa might have been my third person in third place. But I think AJ. I mean, AJ, he's AJ. He's had good matches. It's kind of what he does. And I think maybe my choice would have been Kenny just because he had great matches, and I think the caliber of matches Kenny had throughout the year is probably better, match for match compared to AJ. But he's the top, not the top dog in the company, but he has the top championship in the company. So I guess that just gives him an extra little boost.
Yeah. Plus, SmackDown Live is the house that AJ Styles built. I mean, yeah, like his feud with Joe, I really enjoyed it. I felt like they could have played some more mind games there with that, and his thing with Nakamura, if they had like 2 or 3 matches less and less low blows, rivalry would have been nice and fine. But TLC's match with Daniel Bryan, that was really good. I really enjoyed that, and it ended with the small package because Daniel Bryan is the master of the small package. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's the right choice. And wasn't his title reign a legendary? Wasn't it up there as far as consecutive days?
In lengthways, it was.
It's
like
it
was legendary.
He has like the 9th or 8th longest title reign in history or something like that. So yeah, I mean, he's no CM Punk. He's no 434, but you
had to get him in there, didn't you?
I had to. I'm a Punk guy. I'm still a Punk guy. I'll be a skeleton when he comes back, but it'll happen. Any other thoughts on any of these other nominees for possible Wrestler of the Year? Who do you think is a runner-up?
Man, they cooled Braun off, man. They cooled him off so much. If they just would have kept him hot, he would have ran away with this title for sure. But
yeah, I mean,
they just cooled him.
Royal Rumble, Braun and Lesnar again for the Universal Championship. This is like their 4th or 5th meeting with the title, so I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, just leading up before they pumped the brakes on him a little bit, all the lead up to that, every spot that he had from every consecutive week to consecutive week, all the strengths of feet or feats of strength.
Yeah, that's what really cooled Braun off for me, though. Yeah. Like him, because I know you don't like the whole cartoony, all that other stuff, but it didn't really sit with me. Like he just happens to know how to use a grappling hook, like he's Batman, and pulling down things. Like, come on, really? Really?
That was awesome. I loved it.
Wow, that was heading into Royal Rumble. Oh my God, that was
really early in the year.
Yeah. Wow. Jesus Christ.
I think someone I put on that list that isn't on there. I think Tanahashi was someone who maybe not breakout, but kind of like bounce back Wrestler of the Year. He won the G1. He had
probably be a category for next year.
He had great matches the final days of G1, and I thought him going up against Kenny next week is going to be a fun match. And I think Tanahashi and Kota Ibushi as well. There's a whole bunch of New Japan people on that list that could be considered male Wrestler of the Year. I think AJ, Kenny, and Tommaso Ciampa are my top 3. Maybe I'm going to be honest, maybe AJ is number 3 just because I have such high hopes for AJ, and he doesn't live up to those high expectations that I have just because he's so great. But I think Tommaso Ciampa is definitely, he could be considered a breakout person of the year, just being the heel, coming back off an injury, and just having the great match with everybody, and the promo work he's been doing. Just kind of holding NXT together right now, just being the top heel champion.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Tommaso's he's going to be a champion for a long time.
Plus his theme song
on the main roster.
Badass. I'm so glad he has music now.
He's
like
awesome.
That NXT house show I went to, or TV taping. It was really fun. That was really awesome.
And he can bang. He looks believable. So once he gets to the main roster, it's not going to be a problem injecting him.
Yeah.
With larger bodies and things like that.
Throw him on SmackDown. I want all of the NXT guys to go over to SmackDown because I feel like they'll flourish over there. Yeah, but any other thoughts on any of these other people?
Chris Jericho, just doing Chris Jericho things. It's kind of crazy that 2018 was that match that he had with Kenny Omega. So it's kind of like his first match. So this whole 2018 was kind of the year of Jericho reinventing himself. He had the thing with Kenny, even though that happened at late 2017. But he had the match, and then he's doing the thing with Naito. He comes to All In. He even had the Rocking Rager at Sea, whatever it's called. So I think
Chris Jericho's Rockin' Wrestling Rager.
Sure, whatever it's called. But Chris Jericho definitely consideration of male wrestler there just because of all the different things he's done and outside the company.
Made me
WWE.
miss him. Made me miss him big time, man.
Yeah. And then he even showed up to Raw 25. So he was in every single big promotion.
Yeah.
Except for ROH.
I mean, you could even argue. I guess you could argue Seth Rollins has really come back into his own, winning the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania.
Gauntlet match was sick.
I think Seth Rollins could have been, but they just kind of dropped the ball. They wanted Roman Reigns to be the guy, and I think Seth was clearly the guy who should have beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and they didn't. I mean, and now he's just kind of cooled off now.
The what was it at Extreme Rules, that Iron Man match he had with Dolph? I think it was a little bit better than what people gave it credit for. Beach balls and those idiots there doing stuff like that. But anyway, AJ Styles. You're the male wrestler of the year for the Casties. And
the only male wrestler of the year.
The only male wrestler of the year. There you go,
Two-time.
man. 2-time. And if we have to...
Back to back.
If we're going to...
Back to back.
I say we do some predictions. Will someone knock off AJ Styles off his throne next year? Who will it be?
I don't know, man. But if we... Real quick, I want to get into this. Who has the most Casties this year? I think it's Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan with 3?
Daniel Bryan has 3. Becky has 2. Yep. D-Bry.
Your award will come in the mail shortly.
Yes, it will be vegan friendly.
Vegan friendly, yeah.
Vegan friendly.
Organic.
Yes. It'll be an organic vegan lettuce wrap. Something like that. I don't know. Alright, so predictions, who's gonna knock AJ off?
We have All Elite Wrestling. Who knows what exactly that entails? Is Kenny leaving for New Japan? Is he leaving New Japan to join the Elite crew, or does he continue? We're going to talk about it next week at Wrestle Kingdom. Where does everyone stand with Kenny? Is he Kenny the champion? I think it all kind of leans on that of what is Kenny doing?
I don't know what Kenny's doing, man.
Could he do both? Could he be an All Elite and could he be a New Japan? I think it's possible.
It's possible, yeah. Especially if your buddies are running the promotion.
Mm-hmm. Seth Rollins, it looks like might be the guy to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So if he is the guy and Roman doesn't come back maybe until the end of the year, I think Seth could be considered, the top guy of WWE by the end of 2019. So I think Seth, Kenny, unless if there's some person who just kind of comes out of nowhere that we're not thinking of right now, maybe someone
Mustafa Ali.
He has wins over Daniel Bryan and Andrade Almas, so who knows?
Yeah, I think Seth could be the guy next year. Like you said, he looks like he's taking the title off
maybe Adam Cole's,
Big Brock.
Maybe Adam Cole's due for some big push in NXT, and then by this time next year, Undisputed Era or Adam Cole is up on the main roster. And
Adam Cole, baby. Shout out to the shirt. Well, I guess that's going to conclude the 100th episode, guys. We did it. Yep, 100 straight weeks of the podcast.
100 in the bag. I had one little hiccup with the curse word. I apologize.
Oh yeah, we marked it down. We're gonna get that.
I didn't curse.
I know. Shut up. All gonna be edited in post.
That's perfect.
This will either be up later tonight or Thursday morning. Whichever one. But thank you guys for coming on the 100th episode, man.
I love being here. Thank you for having me. Hopefully, I can join you guys a little bit more.
Oh, of course, man. We're looking for a third person. Got to be gender specific. You never know.
Maybe.
A very fluid podcast on this.
Yes, absolutely. That's why we're the number 17 sports recreational podcast.
Because of our gender fluidity.
Yes. Oh, there you go, man. This guy got a 1200 on his SAT verbal.
We're super woke.
Yes, absolutely. Episode 101, new entrance music. It's going to be the new era of the Bullet Cast. More hard-hitting coverage of professional wrestling and all that other stuff. But seriously, quick shout out to anybody who's ever listened to this podcast. Quick shout out to anybody who's ever been on the podcast and has ever helped me with this, whether it's graphic design or voiceovers. If you're a wrestler who's ever given me a voiceover, Cody, X-Pac, Zack Sabre Jr.
My favorite.
Yep. Jack Swagger, Big Mike Elgin, shout out. We appreciate that so much. Oh, I didn't think this podcast would hit 100 episodes, and now it has.
To 100 more, my friend.
Hey, yeah, you bet your ass you'll see me at episode 200. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a nice day.
No matter what you do, I'm
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.